What's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrifice my time so you don't have to. Merry fucking Christmas. Am I right? Am I right? Merry Christmas. And what a way to celebrate the new Christmas year. Christmas holiday, Christmas celebration, Christmas year. You get the point, okay? I'm trying to be funny here, okay? I'm trying to downplay what the fuck is going on right now. Because this right here, you can't get any more ridiculous than this, right? Can you get any more ridiculous than going out of your way to argue with a fucking lawyer on how laws work? Of course, when you're Chris Jericho, you can definitely do something like that. So, without further ado, I got all my links down in the description box below. I'll give you my entire consensus, as always, when I'm done reading all these articles. And boy, oh boy, it's a bunch of articles. It's a bunch of links. I wanted to make sure I had all my P's and Q's, all my I's dotted, all my J's dotted. One had all my T's crossed out. Didn't want anyone coming back and being like, "What, Devontae, you forgot to talk about this." No, I didn't. I got everything covered, okay? Even got lucky, and while I was plugging in all these links, got the Jim Cornette burial Allahu Akbar of Chris Jericho. So this is actually pretty good. So links are down in the description box below. We're going to take this in chronological order so you guys can have a better understanding what the fuck I'm coming across and saying right now, okay? So the first one is Ace still getting fired. So if you guys didn't know, Ace still got fired back, just in case, because I know some people probably don't really follow the backstage stuff all too much. You might know enough, but you don't follow the backstage stuff enough to know what the fuck is legitimately going on. So just to catch you up, Ace still fired once again from AEW. This happened back in September, okay? So nothing really much to talk about besides notating the fact that because CM Punk isn't there anymore, Ace still got fired. And I wanted to bring that up because initially, from my understanding, what everybody was talking about and what reports were actually talking about after the whole CM Punk firing the first time, the only time, should have been fired the first time, but we're not going to, digress on that. Apparently, CM Punk was never planning on suing AEW. He never wasn't. He said I'm assuming he looked at it like, okay, this is all my fault. I wasn't going to do this, blah, 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 blah. And he was never planning on suing AEW, and I can only assume that kind of took a turn for the worse after they got rid of Ace Steel. So CM Punk and Ace Steel took it upon themselves to get a lawyer. Who's their lawyer, you may ask? Well, it is none other than Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New. So check this out. I got this link down in the description box below if you want to hear this part. It's Stephen P. New announcing back in December of last week, I think? Yeah, 2 weeks ago, December 10th, he puts out a tweet. There we go. Almost a tweet longer. What the hell? Where he says, "I am proud of my clients and would not represent them if I didn't truly believe in them as people. And Ace still is correct. Sometimes clients and friends are family." Which obviously, if you follow Jim Cornette, and in particular Jim Cornette and CM Punk, you would know that Jim Cornette is just a rambunctious CM Punk fanboy, which is his right. I'm not gonna step on the man's shoes. He's not a journalist. Again, he's a commentator. Some of you commentators can actually, take heed of that, or journalists. I said commentators by accident. But it gets a little bit deeper because Stephen P. New put out a little bit of a tweet because apparently some people are kind of misconstruing certain things about how NDAs work. And he was on a podcast with Rip Rogers. I'll have that link down in the description box below also if you guys want to hear Stephen P. New's voice, if you want to get to know Stephen P. New a little tiny bit. He did a interview with Rip Rogers, and again, link is down in the description box below if you want to watch that video, where essentially he asked them, so here, I'll read the article for you so you get a better understanding. Ace still was fired from AEW when he was part of the Brawl Out last year, where he allegedly bit Kenny Omega on the arm during the brawl. He was brought back and had been working remotely following Punk's return as well. He got fired again shortly after CM Punk's AEW firing as well. CM Punk and Ace Steel's attorney is Stephen P. New, who recently expressed his approval of working with Punk and Steel. In case you didn't know, he is also Jim Cornette's lawyer. While speaking on Wrestling with Rip Rogers, Stephen P. New commented on Brawl Out and the NDAs attached to everyone. The attorney was asked if the NDAs were for life, to which he simply said yes. So, just in case you guys have you wanted a better understanding in regards to NDAs work, according to Stephen P. New, a fucking lawyer, and I'm emphasizing this because we're going to get on this a little bit later, he said that NDAs are for life, like NWO for life. So we're going to take a little bit of a detour for a second. We're going to come back to the Stephen P. New stuff because this all kind of ties up in together, okay? A couple of days ago, CM Punk had a little bit of a controversy, if you will, because, again, he's attached at the hip with Stephen P. New and Ace Steel. So, again, check this out real quick. The media scrum following AEW All Out event ended in turmoil after CM Punk unleashed a scathing attack on Colt Cabana, Paige, and the Young Bucks, verbally lashing out at all parties involved. The incident caused significant damage to Punk's reputation, and the repercussions have been felt throughout AEW since. That being said, Punk ended up causing outrage after approving a controversial Jim Cornette story. Ace Steel was fired from AEW when he was a part of the Brawl Out last year, where he allegedly bit they're gonna keep saying that, right? Bit Kenny Omega on the arm during the brawl. He was brought back and had been working remotely following Punk's return as well. He got fired again shortly after CM Punk's AEW firing as well. CM Punk and Ace Steel's attorney is Stephen P. New, who recently expressed his approval of working with Punk and Steel. In case you didn't know, New is also Jim Cornette's attorney. The Second City Saint took to his Instagram story and uploaded a thumbnail from Jim Cornette's latest story, where the latter talked about Punk and Steel using his attorney. He also stated that the fan art should be hung up in the... I'm gonna botch the fuck out of this. Louvier? I'm assuming? Louvier? I hope so. Unsurprisingly, a lot of fans were outraged at this because Jim Cornette has been very racist over the years. What? While Punk was actively championed against racism. Wow, what the fuck? Ace Steel also gave his unwavering support to CM Punk after his WWE return. Regardless, AEW All Out Forever marked the slow descent of company for many reasons, something that the company is still trying to recover from. So, and you have a bunch of tweets. They're all calling, Jim Cornette a racist. They're saying that Punk's SJW stuff was just a gimmick. They're saying you have one person who just flat out called Jim Cornette a racist, sexist, homophobe. They said it in that order. You can't get any more stereotypical if you even fucking tried. But yeah. And again, this is so ridiculous. But it gets a little bit better. And again, Jim Cornette's video, I also have in the link down in the description box if you guys want to check that out. Because they also called him a right-winger, because apparently all right-wingers are homophobic, sexist, transphobic, women-phobic, phobic. Apparently Jim Cornette has to fucking defend himself against being right-wing, which, by the way, I am completely right-wing. I am absolutely right-wing. I go after Jim Cornette and his politics like all the time because I'm right-wing. Let you guys know, as a hardcore conservative, which I am fully staunch right. I am fully staunch Republican. Jim Cornette ain't no motherfucking Republican, okay? He ain't on the motherfucking right. Nor do we claim his crazy ass. But that's neither here nor there, okay? Unlike Jim Cornette and his sycophants, I like to defend people when they're in the right, and I like to defend people when they're in the wrong. And Jim Cornette is absolutely in the motherfucking right here. So, continuing on. Again, if you want to check out Jim Cornette's video, I'll have that link down in the description box below, where he completely demolishes all these talking points, which, again, demolish talking points, Twitter. Man, it's like going after a elementary school kid in regards to, hey, you want to do a spelling bee contest, kid? Like, it's not really that fucking hard. But, nevertheless, Jim Cornette, as far as one of his bulletin points was touching on, says, and I quote, "Again, people lost their minds. Apparently what little they have. They have someone to figure out a way to dislike all of us at the same time. The idea of Jim Cornette and CM Punk sharing some idea or concept or mutual friend or fucking viewpoint inflamed people to where they completely lost track of their fucking senses and equated that to both of us somehow becoming right-wingers." Which, by the way, Punk, not a right-winger. Just saying. Pretty sure you knew that already, though. It's insane now that Punk has gone back to WWE. Has he abandoned his principles? What the fuck? Calling me a right-winger? They've gone too far, Brian, especially in support of those they allegedly support. They're Buckaroo fans, AEW fans, fans of people we blister. We say bad things about their favorite wrestlers, and they're the ones that are either fanatical in a right-wing way. The Khans gave money to Trump, so did Jericho, and his wife went to the insurrection and bragged about it on Facebook. But Punk and I are somehow in this fucking ilk, which, by the way, he's right. I mean, he's a complete retard when it comes to the insurrection. I mean, he will never hold that sentence to anybody who, went, at the Capitol beforehand, when they burnt down statues during COVID. But, to be on rights, we're not here to talk about that right now at the moment. What I am to talk about, though, is he's right. He's absolutely right. As much as I disagree with his stupid ass, he's right in regards to his positioning. AEW fans want to call CM Punk and Jim Cornette right-wingers when you have people like Jericho who did indeed donate money to Trump. And also, people don't talk about this that much, which, again, who fucking cares? But, just to kind of build up on Jim Cornette's point, he did do an interview with Don Jr. also. It's somewhere on Spotify if he didn't delete the video because he's a fucking coward. But I hope he didn't. And it's still up there. Maybe. I don't know. Go check it out yourselves. And yes, Jericho's wife did not accompany the insurrection. She was behind the gate and she was taking pictures with people who were at the insurrection, which there's no proof whether or not they themselves committed going to the insurrection, which, by the way, wasn't a complete insurrection. You had some idiots there who were drunk, who were being idiots at the end of the day. And you had some people who were arrested, guided by the cops to go throughout the, I'm not going to, okay, if you want to talk about this in the comment section, go ahead. You already know, okay, if you're a fucking retard, whatever, that's your point, who cares? My point being is, let's stay on topic here, okay? But that's the whole transcript when it comes to that. But it gets a little bit more deeper, because we're going to come right back, circling back to Chris Jericho and Stephen P. New. So this is where the fun part starts to come into. Because, as I said before, Jericho or Stephen P. New already let everyone know that, okay, NDAs were signed, NDAs were in play, and NDAs are like NWO for life, meaning shut the fuck up for life, or you're gonna get sued. So check this out. Let's see. For those not aware, Ace Steel was fired. I'm not reading that shit again. They keep fucking repeating themselves. CM Punk and Ace Steel's attorney is Stephen P. New, who recently expressed his approval of working with Punk and Steel. In case you didn't know, he is also Jim Cornette's lawyer. Yes, I do know, because you fucking retards rewrit that set. You know what? Let me not stop. Ringside News, you're doing a great job on this coverage, okay? You compiled a nice cabinet links for me to follow, okay? So, fuck. I love you guys. No, I don't. You Indian motherfuckers. As previously reported, Stephen P. New had confirmed everyone involved in the backstage brawl has signed an NDA for life. Chris Jericho took to Twitter and claimed that he never signed an NDA after the brawl-out fiasco. Jericho because of course it's Chris Jericho, and for no fucking reason he has to butt his stupid ass in. He goes, "I didn't sign one." It didn't take long before CM Punk and Ace Steel's attorney Stephen P. New saw what Chris Jericho had to say and responded to it, stating that the NDA should be in Chris Jericho's employee handbook. And I quote from Stephen P. New, "It's in your employee handbook. Unless you have a special one, we can figure it out. Because Jericho, you're an idiot. Seriously, you fucking marky idiot." But it gets a little bit more deeper because, of course, you have the AEW stands who have to come after Stephen P. New because apparently they're lawyers and they totally know how to fucking lawyer. Do you guys know how to fucking lawyer? Because, of course, the AEW fans, they absolutely know how to fucking lawyer. So, Stephen P. New put this into context so you can have a better understanding. Okay, counselors or counselor, but those handbooks do contain confidentially provisions. Okay, one of us has seen the one in place at the time, and one of us likely hasn't. This doesn't take into account the investigation which followed and what witnesses signed. I stand by what I said. He also said early on, it is unlikely that an NDA is in the handbook because a good handbook makes it clear that it's not a contract. NDAs are standalone contracts. He's talking to Chris Jericho, but that's Steve Brown said that, and that's when Stephen New Yeah, Stephen P. New was responding to that guy. The guy initially said it is unlikely that an NDA is in the handbook because the good handbook makes it clear that it's not a contract. NDAs are standalone contracts, which is when Stephen P. New responded to him and he said, okay, counselor, but those handbooks do contain confidentiality provisions. One of us has seen the one in place at the time and one of us likely hasn't. This doesn't take into account the investigation which followed and what witnesses signed. I stand by what I said. So that's what he was responding to, just to kind of get a little bit more clarification. Kind of confused myself there for a minute. But it gets so much better because Chris Jericho, his fucking wisdom took it upon himself to try to come after Stephen P. New again. This gets so much better. This is such a fun story because, of course, Christmas time is for making your company look like a complete fucking embarrassment. Jericho says in his tweet, "Hey, Stephen, I don't adhere to an employee handbook and never had one in 4 years of working for AEW. I've also never signed an NDA in my life, ever. So stop trying to be a bully and making egotistical fantasy graphs for your clients and start doing some research before you make blanket statements about your buddies, because I saw everything that night, including how Lucy and her husband and best buddy acted and what really went down. And since I was in the room and watching her and everybody else the whole time, I know exactly what really happened. And considering you weren't there and I was, maybe you should shut your mark ass up, because what really went down was disgusting." Okay, so hang on for a second. Okay, wait. Am I tripping? Someone remind me in the comment section. I might be tripping here. Wait, didn't Jericho, wasn't he because the whole shit went down backstage. Wasn't Jericho the one telling Tony at the press conference? Like, he was sitting next to him, right? And he told him shit's going down in the back? Like, I could be wrong, but I swear I thought that's what happened. I don't think Jericho was back there to witness everything happen. I think he came, during the aftermath, if I'm not mistaken. And regardless of the matter, I think what Stephen P. New was hitting on is the fact that regardless if they're standalone contracts, if there's an NDA written descriptively inside every contract as a legitimate default provision, then they sign NDAs. For an example, you could say as much as you want that as a standalone contract. You can make it a standalone contract, but if I'm not mistaken, if it's a provision, if it's a clause already embedded within the contract in itself, then you should be perfectly fine. It's what Stephen P. New is trying to say. Now, I know nothing about AEW contracts, but I'm explaining what Stephen is trying to get at as far as that's concerned. Now, if that Stephen Brown dude is serious and he's alluding to the fact that they're standalone contracts and they're not written within the contract, then he would have to prove his claim, right? He would have to be the one to explain whether or not it's not. He never explicitly said that it's not in the handbook. He just said that most likely it's not in the handbook because they're usually standalone contracts. So that Stephen Brown guy, I'm not saying that he's wrong, and I'm not even here to say that Stephen P. New is right. What I'm here to say is if you're going to make a claim such, you should probably blatantly go out of your way to, exclaim on the matter rather than just making a claim and then not having anything to back it up. So I don't want to take a dog. I don't want to really have a dog in this fight or pick a lane as far as who's right or who's wrong in consideration of that. It's just more so okay, well, they're both lawyers. One's a counselor, apparently, going off what Stephen P. New was saying here. And Stephen P. New's a lawyer or an attorney. I'm just saying, I don't know if they're right or wrong. I just feel like there's more to that story if they have more to say. But we conclude this with the best tweet of them out. Because, of course, what is a conclusion without having Jim Cornette going out of his way to bury some of his oppositions? See, this is good Jim Cornette. Political Jim Cornette fucking sucks, but wrestling Jim Cornette, oh God, he's the fucking best. He says, "God, Chris, it's Christmas. Slap Tony's dick out of your mouth. You got his dad's money the next 10 years and the Buckaroos will still let you play with the cool kids. You don't have to tell the truth. Just quit lying. Punk is sorry he made a difference in the AEW business and you haven't." Jesus Christ. The SmackDown of all SmackDowns. Because again, what wouldn't be a good Jim Cornette video if I can't have a good Jim Cornette burial within said video? Jim Cornette just laid the SmackDown on Chris Jericho. He's down. It's a last man standing match. He's not getting up before the 10 count. But again, and that's the end of all this. Again, all my links are in the description box. If you guys want to go follow the videos, the links, the articles, all that description box, do your job. My overall consensus, Jericho, why did you get yourself involved in all this? You didn't, bro. You didn't have to put yourself into a position to have to take a side on any of this. One, no, I don't believe, I'm going to stand on that. I don't think Jericho was actually there to witness what happened on the offset. Like, nothing happened when Jericho was there. Like, all the punches, all the kicks, and all that stuff, he came during the aftermath. I swear to fucking God, he was there with Tony. I'm not tripping. He was there with Tony. I don't think he ran to the table and let them know something happened, right? I think he was like already there, and he whispered into an ear, because maybe somebody came to Jericho. I can't remember, but he was there. He was not there at the initial altercation. He was talking to Tony, and he told Tony something was happening backstage, because someone probably told him. Like, come on, Jericho. My point being this, though, Jericho, you had no right to talk about this. You had no right to stick your nose in any of this. There was no reason. Okay, you didn't sign an NDA. If you did or if you didn't, why are you talking about this, bro? This doesn't fucking involve you. And you know what you did just now? Now you just brought more unnecessary attention to AEW in a negative light. Like, AEW just can't catch a fucking break, and Tony Khan needs to be a better boss. Tell your co-workers to shut the fuck up. Imagine, can you see any WWE talent doing anything like this? Seriously, any WWE talent doing anything like this? You can't, unless they're not working with the company anymore. But while on the company's dime, while on the company's clock, while on the company's hour, no, you don't see WWE wrestlers talking about wrestling contracts and NDAs and stuff that are within the company and can be a detriment to your fucking company's financial well-being. Jesus Christ. And it's like, Jericho, you're supposed to be the OG. You're supposed to be one of the higher upper guys leading the way. And what the fuck are you doing? Where's Daniel Bryan? Give him a fine, Bryan. What are you doing? Jericho doesn't have a fine. He should definitely get a fine. You should definitely be one of the main ones getting a fine. To outright go out of your way and insert yourself into this for no fucking reason just reeks of so much fucking narcissism. Like, just so much. I didn't sign an NDA. Like, dude, no one fucking asked you, bro. Why are you sticking your nose in businesses that have absolutely nothing to do with you? Stereotypical Chris Jericho, though, man. If the limelight's not on him, whether it's positive or whether it's negative, even if it doesn't contribute to anything in the end of the day, he has to stick his nose in somebody else's business for no fucking reason. Makes no sense to me, and I'm pretty sure it makes no sense to him, but it's Chris Jericho in the end of the day, and if he can get something out of it, if he can get somebody, see, I think that dude probably, and this is coming from a guy who's a diehard Jericho fan, Jericho appreciates eyes, and he appreciates his name being in people's mouths more than he actually appreciates the fucking money, and it's so fucking sad to see somebody this fucking old not get through their fucking heads that in order to why am I saying this? It's Jericho, and it's AEW. They know what the fuck they're doing at the end of the day. But let me just say this. Bad publicity, good publicity is better than no publicity. But too much fucking bad publicity, it's not even no publicity. It's the complete opposite. How do I know? Because your fucking numbers say it, and your AEW loyalists, who are the only ones there in the audience, are fucking telling you. But let me know your thoughts down in the description box. I keep saying description box. I've been doing that these past. What is going on right now? It's like I'm on fucking drugs. Stop, Devontae, with the drugs. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about this whole situation. Do you side with Stephen P. New? Do you side with the AEW folks in regards to how NDAs work? Do you see where Ace Steel and CM Punk are coming from? Because again, I still believe that CM Punk was never planning on doing a lawsuit before they fired Ace Steel, and then they fired Ace Steel, and now he feels comfortable with doing it. How do you feel about Jim Cornette laying the smackdown on Chris Jericho? And better yet, how do you feel about Chris Jericho opening his mouth up once again and just bringing attention that AEW does not otherwise fucking need at this moment, especially with how everything is going at the moment? And of all places to do it on fucking Christmas, Jericho, you have kids, okay? Go spend time with them, okay? Go chill with your fucking kids, all right? Now, granted, I think Ash is like 20 right now, but you still have twins, right? Actually, they might be turning 17 or 18 right now, too. My point, Jericho, even better, bro. Go fucking have sex with your wife, okay? Your wife should still be somewhat hot, all right? Go fuck your wife or something, dude. Jumping on Twitter, arguing with people about lawyer nonsense. My God. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you assholes later. Deuces. And a motherfucking biatch. And also a motherfucking Merry Christmas. I'm gonna eat your cookies. And I'm not talking about those cookies either. Open up wide, butthole. Your wife's. God damn it. Pause!